Hey everyone, this is Borvok bringing you another Rambo review. I was inspired by Yellow Flash. He did a video today on the new Superman 100-page giant from Walmart. So I wanted to just dive right in and kind of give my thoughts on that. First book I actually went to was Teen Titans, but this seems kind of topical with Yellow Flash already getting into it. Makes me kind of, again, just want to share my own opinions on it. It's apparently been kind of controversial on the internet, so we'll hop right in and see why. Original story by Tom King. Is it Tom King? I think it's Tom King. Yeah, it's Tom King. It's definitely Tom King. What's so controversial about it is uh, basically the story is I don't know, something about some girl was abducted and Superman is going out to space to save her, and he had to leave Lois and everyone else behind because he's going to space. And he's just basically he's having a lot of like hallucinations or a lot of like imagining bad things happening to Lois while he's gone because he's so worried about her. But here we with for very first page is Lex Luthor going crazy and shooting Lois. Um, I won't show the bottom picture here because I'm trying to stay, as child friendly as possible. It's not too bad of a picture. You can probably find it on the internet, but people are saying it's violence against women or just inappropriate for children. But we'll get back to that. Just going over the story. So we've got that. Um, and basically, Superman, in addition to being so worried about Lois, that's actually being compounded because he's actually having to sit in this waiting room because he is trying to call Lois to make sure she's okay from deep space, and they're having all these problems. And it's almost like it feels like he's going to the Secretary of State or something. They're going, say go to window 4, okay, go fill out this paperwork, okay, go to window 6, okay, we'll call you back when we're ready. And he's just dealing with the whole runaround. So there's another thing. He's worried. He's imagining that Lois and um, Jimmy Olsen are getting, caught in a plane crash, and then he's, something about the Joker, and the, opposite pages are just him trying to deal with the pencil pushers, the paper pushers in the office, not being able to connect his call to Lois, and he's having one about Joker. There's one about unexploding Jack in the Box. Then this got this whole page of all these Lois dying in various ways. Um, Here's her falling from the sky from a helicopter to her death, supposedly. Um, and we finally get the previous page. He finally gets through to someone after a whole back and forth who can connect him with Lois finally. And of course, he has to step up to one last window. Man, 2605, 2606 is thousands of. This is like bureaucracy taken to the umpth degree. But finally, he gets through to Lois, and they just talk for a little while. And the ironic thing is that actually she's been worried about him all along, and he doesn't let on that he was worried about her. He never says that, but she's just so worried about him, and she's got to run off to cover a story, a supervillain attacking or something, and the story ends with Superman saying, "I miss you too." But she's already got off the phone, so he didn't actually get to say it to her. Um, I don't know. I think on the one hand, the story is really emotional. Um, I'm not always the biggest fan of Tom King, and I don't mean that. Yeah, a lot of people like him, and that's fine. And I'm sure I like him too. It's just some of his style doesn't really mesh with me, and his dialogue and stories and stuff. But that's okay. Feels like I'm being down on Tom King. I don't mean to be, but the story is kind of heartfelt. It kind of rings true a little bit because when you care about someone and you're separating from that person, you worry. All of these thoughts do go through your head, all of the worst possible scenarios, and then you find out that that other person was worried about you too, and that's probably something you didn't even consider. Um, And I think that's sweet, and I think it, like I said, it rings true. Um, a lot of people, again, the controversy about this is this too violent of a story? They put these 100-page giant comics. They're exclusive to Walmart, and they put them next to the Yu-Gi-Oh and the Pokemon cards. At least in my store, two stores that I've gone to, the one special aisle on one side of the store or the other, where they have the Pokemon cards and the again, it's just like stuff for kids. So is this too violent? Is this first of all, is this anti-woman? No. If people are saying that, then you're drinking some kind of Kool-Aid. This isn't anti-woman. Lois just happens to be a woman. Is this inappropriate for kids? I think especially that first page. Going back again, I'm not going to show the picture, and it's not too bad, but it definitely makes a point. You see the hint of a bullet wound, even if you don't actually get to see the hint itself, or you don't actually get to see the wound itself. It might be going a little hard for the kids. Um, uh, what really, I didn't want to get into this yet, but really, okay, I think that comics, entertainment, you look at like Batman the Animated Series, you look at movies, people can tell good stories that are appropriate for kids and still complex and interesting enough for adults. There are things that you can imply without necessarily having to show them and get graphic about them. And I wish more comics took that high road where they were appropriate for kids. I think kids comics these days are about they're about they just feel dumbed down. Kids comics feel dumbed down, and the real comics are the adult comics. I feel like there's a happy middle ground that you could have where um, having comics kind of combine them. Take out the super offensive stuff that isn't good for kids, but keep in the maturity that will bring in the adults. I think you can have a good product. Batman the Animated Series did it. A lot of movies do it. Make something that captures as big of an audience as you can, kids and adults. Make it appropriate for everyone, and yet complex and mature enough for adults. And I wish more comics would do that. But back to this book, if people really want to get upset over the violence here, what they really should be upset about is about the fact that these horrible Harley Quinn stories are available in the Batman books. This has boggled my mind from day one, and I've been collecting all of these. I have a shelf of all of these 100-page giants that have been released so far. I even had to track a couple of them down on eBay because I decided not to get them and regretted it. But ever since the first one with Harley Quinn in it, there's a story where she straight up murders someone. Like it was someone sent to attack her, but she takes this person and she feeds him to a pack of ravenous cats and dogs who have their faces smeared with blood after eating this guy. Um, and it's just really DC. You're putting these out in Walmarts. Be more careful about what you're doing. Be more careful about what you're showing kids. This just and it's all played off for laughs, and it's not that's not funny. That's not good for kids. So I don't know. If you're going to be upset about the violence in this, really what you should be upset about, you should have been upset way back here in Batman with the Harley Quinn stories. And I have been upset about that. I've been really enjoying these books, but I never read the Harley Quinn stuff. I skip over that. Who wants that stuff? I'm not saying don't use Harley Quinn as a character, but there are it's almost like they're promoting this sort of psychosis and violence, and that's not cool. If she's crazy like that, then show her as a villain, not an oopsie daisy hero who just happens to be murderous, and it's okay. But should this I keep coming back to this. This is a meandering video. Surprise, surprise. Um, oh, and I just showed the picture I said I wasn't going to show. Oh, there you have it. Should this be, is this good for kids? Should this be in the Walmart 100-page giant? I don't know. Maybe not. But But let's be consistent. If you're going to be upset about this, be upset about Harley Quinn too. That's all I have to say about this. So sorry, I didn't this was going to be a short video. I'm so bad at this. But let me know what you guys think. If anyone ends up seeing this video aside from myself, leave a comment so I know you saw it, and give me a thumbs down for taking way too long and meandering all over the place on my thoughts regarding this. I might try to cover some of the old stories in here too, but a lot of you guys are way more into comics than I am. Have read a lot more better read, let's say, than I am, and already know a lot of these stories. I haven't even, don't tell anyone, I actually never read Hush, so I'm actually enjoying that in the Batman book. That's a really good story so far. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you liked what you saw here, by all means, go pick it up. Yellow Flash indicated that he thinks that these might start becoming rare with all the controversy around them. So go pick up your Superman number 7. Read it for yourself, page by page, panel by panel, and line by line. I got my own catchphrase wrong, but that's okay. And I will see you guys whenever I do my next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.